EU leaders have now left Brussels on the way back home after an extensive set of meetings yesterday, including one at NATO, the G7, and as I say, an EU leaders summit attended by Joe Biden and also by the Ukrainian President Zelensky last night. In the end, though, President Zelensky's calls for greater military aid and also greater sanctions in many ways fell on deaf ears. EU leaders, NATO leaders, frankly, not prepared to go that extra mile that President Zelensky desperately needs, if you like. And that is because there are divisions within the European Union and NATO to a degree about just how much effort they need to put in to help out Ukraine because of geopolitics, because of the reliance on energy, for example. Last night we saw discussions around whether there should be further sanctions on Russian oil or gas. In the end, Germany, the Netherlands and other countries are pretty reluctant to do so because they know that they rely quite heavily on Russian oil and gas. They know that if they were to turn off the taps, that would have an immediate impact on their economies. People would lose their jobs, industries would shut down. There is the potential that European economies would descend into recession. And that is why they could not reach agreement, even with the prodding, if you like, of the United States, the UK and others in Eastern Europe like Poland and the Baltic states. Yes, there is going to be increased military aid. Countries are committed to that, not least of all the UK. This is committed to an extra 6,000 missiles and 25 million quid for Ukrainian forces. But this is all very difficult when it comes to geopolitics. There was much talk yesterday, wasn't there, as well, about the issue of a potential biological or chemical attack by the Russians in Ukraine. Both President Biden and Boris Johnson insisting there would be consequences for that, not quite spelling out what that would be, but it's clear that NATO have drawn a line that would be a different era in this conflict, 1 month in to the war in Ukraine. But also, additionally, we're going to see President Biden move on today from here in Brussels. He's going to travel to Poland, going to meet many of those refugees that have travelled, millions of refugees who have travelled across the borders from Ukraine into places like Hungary, into places like Romania, Slovakia, Western Europe, but most notably Poland. And that is where President Biden is going to meet these refugees to get a sense of the humanitarian cost of this war, a war that, of course, has cost thousands of people's lives so far, the destruction of many cities within Ukraine, but also millions of people seeking refuge here in Europe, in places like Brussels, but in many other European capitals.